All right, welcome back. I hope you all had a great lunch, but not too much of it. But we have, to set the ball rolling, we have another message from one of our honorary faculty, Professor Sukumar, um, who was with us in the morning, but we should play a video from him now.
Hello. I first came to the institute in 1979. The reason I came was that Mother Gadgil had set up the country's first ecology program with an evolutionary approach to studying ecology in the area. At that time, he had only just two other students, Prasad, who studied bamboos, and Vijayakumaran, who studied elephant social behavior. And I was the third student. And the last student in the earlier ecology program before the Center for Ecological Sciences was formally set up. Well, after a year of coursework, I went off to the Bilgiri Ranglans to do my field research and was sort of involved in that for about 3 years. And I had only a vague notion that my mother was trying to set up an entirely new department for ecology. But in 1983, when I sort of wound up my field research and came back, I was pleasantly surprised that we announced that the then Department of Environment had actually, granted a Center of Excellence to IIC for a Center for Ecological Sciences. So that was the genesis. I think the funds came in the month of March 1983, if I remember correctly. And we operated out of a very, very small building in those days. And this was just before the health center, the tile roof building. It was all very, very little space. We all got to know each other. Raghavendra Gadakar was also there, and Niranjan Joshi. So we just very, very few of us. Soon, the formal construction of a separate building for the center started. But I still remember when I was collating my PhD thesis, a large number of copies based on Mimeo sort of printouts. I had to, in 1985, I had to go up a ramp with the torchlights at night along with my friends to put my thesis together. But then that building became functional in 1986, and this wonderful Woody Layana, in Tada, was sort of planted by Madhav, and then it slowly started taking over the building. You still see it if you go past the old CES building. In those days, we largely focused our research, either in the lab or in the field in the Western Ghats, a few sites in the Western Ghats. But then about 15 years ago came the opportunity for CES to move into a larger building and integrate with many of the other departments of biological sciences, and which is what we did, which then meant that we had a big expansion in terms of number of students, number of faculty, and also in terms of the research sites where we work, because it may sound a bit cliched, but then CES was not just confined to the Western Ghats. It was not just a center of excellence for the Western Ghats. We then started working at sites from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Gujarat to Arunachal Pradesh. So now that we are 42 years old, or young, I should say, it's very, very young. I think I wish the department all the very best in terms of all its endeavors and going from strength to strength in the future. Bye.
Is Sukumar still here or is he left? Oh, okay, fine. I can tell the story then. No, in reality, the story has been told in this very hall by Professor Madhav Gadgil when he retired. So I think it's safe to repeat it. There's a generation who hasn't heard it. When Sukumar joined Madhav Gadgil as a PhD student and was out working on elephants and had never worked on elephants, Madhav Gadgil had a postdoc named Dr. Rauf Ali. And so Rauf was a eccentric person and a brilliant mind, but And so when he sent Rauf out to check on Sukumar and how he was doing with his elephant behavior work, Sulochana Gadgil came to know this and said, you know, in front of the other people, Sulochana Gadgil looked at Madhav Gadgil and said, Madhav, what have you done? That poor boy from Madras is going to come back drinking. You know, and N.V. Joshi was standing next to them, looks at them and says, knowing Sukumar, it is more likely that Rauf will come back drinking milk. So I like that story because it brings many of our founding fathers together in one classic story. Yeah, anyway.